We've ridden 4 rides, gone to Ollivander's, done all the magic spots in Hogsmeade, eaten breakfast at the Three Broomsticks, and got a butterbeer all during early park admission by avoiding these 5 mistakes.
The last couple of days, we have gotten up before the sun to head to the parks. And if you know us, you know that we hate mornings. I mean, absolutely despise them. But we've been getting up for a good reason, and that reason is EPA, which stands for Eat Potatoes, Anna. Okay, it doesn't actually stand for Eat Potatoes, Anna. It stands for Early Park Admission, which is a perk for on-site guests and annual pass holders that gives you access to the parks an hour before they open to daytime guests. And coincidentally and ironically, we normally eat potatoes while we're there.
Every time we come to early park admission, I go through a roller coaster of emotions. When my alarm goes off, I'm instantly angry, regretting every life decision I've ever made. But by the time we get to the parks, I've usually had some caffeine, I'm starting to wake up. The parks are beautiful first thing in the morning. The music is calm and serene, and I'm getting excited about EPA. So today, it is here at Islands of Adventure, and it's scheduled to start at 8 a.m. But it is not uncommon for them to open the gates a good 10 to 15 minutes before that scheduled start time. So mistake number 1 is not getting here early enough. We would expect the gates to open between 7:45 and 7:50, so you want to make sure you're here when that happens.
What's funny about EPA is we love it, but about half the time that we decide we're going to come over here, we don't make it, and that's because of a couple of things. One is our terrible time management skills, but also we underestimate the amount of time it actually takes to get to the park. So once you get here, you've got to go through security, and then you've got to walk through City Walk. And so we suggest getting here 45 minutes to an hour before the parks are set to open. And if the parks are going to be busy, even if you are staying on site, you might want to get here earlier than that, because we have seen the lines for EPA get really, really long, sometimes even backed up across the bridge. And the earlier you get here, the longer you have in the parks.
If you look extra tired today, that's because this is day 2 of early park admission. We got up yesterday and came and spent the entire hour just seeing how much we could realistically get done, because today we have to film and that slows us down, but we got a lot done. Mistake number 2 is running straight to Hagrid's. And when we say running, we're not kidding. There was a team member this morning whose entire job was just standing there and asking people to walk because they don't want you to trip and get hurt. But I would say about 90% of people that show up for EPA are planning to run straight to Hagrid's. We're about 10 minutes into early park admission at this point, and it already has a 130-minute wait time, while Velocicoaster is a 25-minute wait. So in our opinion, it makes way more sense to enjoy everything else that EPA has to offer and then come back and ride Hagrid's later in the day, because I would almost guarantee that between 2 and 4 in the afternoon, the wait time will be what it is now or even lower. Can we just talk about how much torture it is sitting here and just staring at the butterbeer cart with absolutely no line and not getting in it? We're trying to eat a little healthier, and so obviously it's just a buttload of sugar, but that would be really great this morning. But there are 2 reasons that we probably would get in line for Hagrid's during early park admission. And the first one is if you have daytime express. So during EPA, none of the express lines are open. And so if you have express, everything except for Hagrid's, you can express later once the park's open to everybody. So it doesn't really make sense to go prioritize the other rides when you can ride them with virtually no wait later. The other reason it makes sense is if you're one of the first 20 people in line that morning, and you're willing to hustle. If you can get in line for Hagrid's as the first 20 or 30 people, you're gonna get on and off pretty quickly, and it's not really gonna be a waste of time. But outside of that, skip it and do it later. Mistake number 3 is not being prepared. So EPA is technically called early park admission for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So the majority of what's available is in the Wizarding World, but that's not all. Like we've already mentioned, Velocicoaster is typically available during EPA in Islands of Adventure, and if you don't have Express Pass, this is absolutely the best time to ride it. Seriously, it's 15 minutes. So for each park, there is a set list of attractions that are typically open. Here in Islands of Adventure, that's going to be the 3 Harry Potter rides. So Flight of the Hippogriff, Forbidden Journey, and Hagrid's, and then also Velocicoaster. But that's not always the case. For example, last summer there was a time stretch, it was like a week or two, where Velocicoaster wasn't available for EPA for whatever reason, and so to compensate for that, they opened up River Adventure during EPA. And if you're wondering, oh man, how on earth would I ever know that? I have a solution. You just need to watch our monthly update videos because we tell you all of the things like that. You can also just ask when you check into your on-site hotel or ask a team member when you get here in the morning, but shameless plug, just watch us.
Something else to think about when you are planning your morning here at EPA is breakfast. If you're a breakfast person, there's just not that many options at the parks for breakfast. So there's some stuff at the front of Islands, but once you get back here, it's pretty much just the 3 broomsticks. There used to be a scone at this one little cart that we really enjoyed, but they moved it to the 3 broomsticks, so it's just the 3 broomsticks. But this is a great time to eat there. Normally, there's a huge line, and as you can see, there's not really anybody in line. So if you're a breakfast person and you want to experience the 3 broomsticks, it's a good opportunity to do so. Hi, I want to do a fun little game. We're gonna go get our favorite breakfast item in 3, 2, 2.5. That's going the other way. Okay, 1, go. What did you get?
I got potatoes. These are the breakfast potatoes from the 3 broomsticks.
Get on your knees fully.
I did.
I got a cauldron cake.
Cake for breakfast.
Hey, Anna, I'm an adult, and if I want to eat cake for breakfast, I will. But yeah, cake.
Okay, I'm gonna profess my love for these potatoes in a second, but first, I want you guys to think about what you would guess this plate of potatoes cost at the 3 broomsticks, and then I'm gonna tell you after I profess my love. These are the best potatoes that I've maybe ever eaten. It's no wonder they come from the Wizarding World because they're magic. I don't know what they season them with. I don't know what they do to the onions that are in here, but it is so good. Like, it's so caramelized and perfectly salty and absolutely just 100% delicious. But now I'm gonna tell you the price, $4. $4 for this giant plate of potatoes. It's a steal.
A steal might be a little bit of a exaggeration because it's just like 1 potato, maybe 2, but what does a potato cost?
What'd you pay for your cauldron cake?
$15.
Mistake number 4 is following the crowd. So like we said earlier, the majority of people that are coming to EPA are gonna run straight for Hagrid's, but those that don't are probably gonna go for the other rides that are open. So that's gonna be Forbidden Journey, Velocicoaster, and maybe even Hippogriff. And it's really easy to kind of get in that herd mentality and just follow everybody else, but we suggest not doing that because early park admission is the perfect time to enjoy all of the magical things there are to experience here in Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade just isn't a very big area. So even on days where the parks are slower, it's just gonna feel cramped and crowded. And one of the only times that you can get away from this is during early park admission. So what we like to do is just enjoy all that Hogsmeade has to offer. If you have a wand, this is the perfect time to go do the magic spots. Like, there's usually a line at those things where you have to like stand there and wait. And then once it's finally your turn, you feel like pressured to like hurry up and get it right or let the next person go. So it's a really good time to walk around and enjoy all of that. You can also walk in the shops and actually see stuff. Like, you're not shoulder to shoulder with people because they're really cramped in there, and you can check out all the merch and like spend time doing that. And another really great thing is the Ollivander's Wand Show. It took us forever to finally get picked for the wand show, and I am the only one of the 2 of us that has. And the only reason I was picked is because it was just the 2 of us inside of it. And if you go first thing in the morning during early park admission, there's a good chance you might be the only people in there, or there's going to be a lot fewer people than there normally would. So there's a lot better chance that you're going to pick to actually like do the show and get your wand chosen for you. So we think it's just a good idea to like break free from the crowd a little bit and enjoy all of the magic that there is.
Okay, and so the 5th and final mistake, that you're probably making with EPA is just not taking advantage of it. If you're staying on site or if you have an annual pass, it's totally worth coming over here. Sure, it sucks getting up early. Like, we hated it the last couple of days, but once we got over here, we've had a ton of fun. We have gotten so much done in such a short amount of time that we can go home and have the rest of our day to ourselves. But at this point, I think you're ready for EPA. If you want to see some of the mistakes that you're probably making when you come to the parks in general, check out this video right up here. But we're going to go ride Velocicoaster for the rest of the day. Actually, we're just going to go ride it once. But yeah, okay, bye.